At the Learning Planet Festival, we unite and empower thousands of engaged and active youth like you to advance learning on how to protect our planet, take the stage and add your voices to fundamental issues, shape the next generation of youth rights, and interact with thought leaders, educators, social innovators, and game changers creating the future of learning. Because coming together and learning to take care of oneself, others, and the planet is how we power up to shape and own our future. So come on to the Learning Planet Festival.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Impact Innovators Forum, hosted by Learning Planets Alliance and Youth Incubator. Today, I am your presenter today, hosting Flora, and my name is Zhang. Today, I want to actually start off by talking about our agenda here. For what I want to talk about is, I want to briefly introduce myself before talking about my project. I want to outline for you the problem that my project seeks to solve, and then the framework that we have, and lastly, the roadmap that we try to solve. So when it comes to myself, there's a few specific aspects I want to highlight. The first one is that I have experienced 1 hour a week, at least since the age of 2018, on the idea of learning to learn. Similarly, I have just about as much experience when it comes to dedicating GPTs for school-specific subjects. This includes training them for evaluative and mentoring purposes. Additionally, I am also an intern at Now Vertical. I was a company that trains AI for investment and company-specific demands. Furthermore, I also have an in-depth understanding when it comes to the logic behind works and just the logic behind how students work. My extensive engagement in extracurricular activity has allowed me to really get an in-depth understanding of the students' capacity and their ability to engage, not just in the school environment, but also outside of school environment in other fields as well. The project that I present to you is called Flora. Flora is an artificial intelligence services that specializes in educational assistance for students that facilitates a student's ability to learn. What we aim here is to engage the student's curiosity with curated explanation to the student's preferred method of understanding. What we also aim is to provide critical and evaluative feedback that is instantaneous, which means there isn't a delay between the feedback given and the students asking for the feedback, while also fostering for the students' topic of personal interest. For example, you can learn whatever field that you personally are interested in. We can engage those fields using AI technology that is on a personalized level that cannot be achieved elsewhere. I want to actually present to you a few stats, first of all, to just show you how expensive private education can be. Private lessons in places such as Canada, where I live, cost anywhere from $30 to $90 per hour. This cost of per hour basis is at a level where most students cannot afford such a hefty cost. Furthermore, the active engagement of personal feedback and actively instantaneous feedback being given is also essential when it comes to a person's ability to engage and continuously engage themselves in the flow state. As you can see, 4 out of 10 workers are actively disengaged when they get little to no feedback. Just imagine this on a student level where you're not even getting paid for those money. Lastly, I want to actually highlight the potential of AI when it comes to educational service in general. As you can see by the graphs here, AI has a massive potential that has been yet untapped. And if we can tap into those potentials, then our technology and the future of education can be, well, improved by a massive amount. When I'm trying to outline the project, let me outline it in a few ways. First of all, I want to highlight the local urgency and what is urgent where I live right now. The urgency where I live right now is the fact that students' feedback is extremely slow. They're tediously slow, and as such, feedback needs to get faster because the student gets disengaged when there's no longer feedback. Additionally, personalized learning is needed for students to be actively engaged. A student right now, every teacher teaches for anywhere from 20 to 30 or 40 students per class. This massive amount of teaching that a student faces on a daily basis is to the point where the teacher can no longer personally engage to the student's specific demand that is within the students. What this means is that students who are shy in general gets ignored within the class. When it comes to the global urgency, what we see is that access to education is generally low. Education is costly in a lot of the cases. What this means is that, one, not only is education low, quality is generally not as high, and education services, especially in third world countries, are generally costly. This means that most students, especially those in poverty, are unable to escape the poverty trap and unable to pay for the education services that they need so desperately. The solution I have presented to you is an artificial intelligence tutorship that is accessible and instantaneous. This means that it has benefits to students by providing them with personalized learning, with instantaneous feedback, efficiently that facilitates curiosity. Lastly, The benefits towards globally is the fact that the cost is low as it is digital, and this being accessible towards a wider range of people through the internet means that it has high scale. When it comes, its scale is also large. I want to outline the framework actually next when it comes to our company. Flora runs under the framework of PRISM. We want to pioneer the future of education, which means that we want to be at the forefront of innovative technology that can help students at front. We want to rally up creative spirits through the means of facilitating their personal interests and allowing them to expand on their personal engagement ideas. If a student have an idea, we don't want them to wait days or even years for it to be before they can finally get a feedback in which they finally be able to think it through. We want them to be able to go towards Flora, the AI technology, and instantaneously know, you know what? Here's how I can expand on those ideas. We want to implicate our future with wisdom. We want to invite the students to apply what they have learned, to see the application of what they have learned through AI technology. We want to spark brilliance within curiosity. Curiosity can be sparked through the active engagement of the students themselves. When the students actually engage in the conversation, when it's topics that they are interested in, then only then are the students invested and are they curious. And lastly, we want to maximize the opportunities given to our students, especially those who lack opportunities right now. This provides a free, accessible method for students to actually be able to, engage in those opportunities. Now, let me present to you my roadmap for the project. By June 2024, I want to be finished with team recruitments and investigating potential sources of funding and collaborators for my project. By June 2025, I want to have the model be fine-tuned, at least to a well enough extent for beta testing to begin. And I also want the task and processing level feedback to be able to done, which is that a machine is capable of giving feedback to the students on a task level, which is how they did on the task, and a process level, which is the thinking process itself. And an agent should also be assigned, namely a memory agent to be able to actually memorize what the student has said to them, and a task executing agent that is able to execute the tasks required for the students, the things that they desire. By December 2025, I want to be able to increase the accuracy of the AI's response through the usage of bagging, which is to say ensemble learning, using multiple resets and carrying them together to get the best results. I want to also actually distribute beta testing and contacting local schools for potential beta testing and implementations to test out the system already. But December 2026, I want the local government collaborations into schools. I also want to make this service something that is available online for free and towards everyone. By June 2027, I want curriculum integration with Flora into other curriculums. What I want is that curriculums are actively engaged and teachers are actively using Flora as assistive technology towards their learning and their ability to teach students the best that they can. I want partnerships expansion, and I also want collaboration for international governments, especially those in third world countries. When it comes to the impact, I want to highlight a few impacts that I think are most necessary. I know education isn't only as this DG as follows, but that is the most primary methods to which we can influence the world. For students, we believe that curiosity is fostered through personalized learning. What we also know is that learning is efficient due to the rapid, spontaneous, specific, and personalized feedback given towards them. What this means is that when the students are learning, a clear direction is provided for the students about where they can learn next and where they can improve. We want full-time support at any time of the day. Thus, the learning of a student isn't limited to just a per-day basis. It is their entire life they are engaging in learning. For the educators and teachers, we believe is that this decreases the workload on personalized teachers, as they are no longer having to focus on 30, 40 students at once. Furthermore, we believe that this allows them to focus on a student who actually need specific supports. For example, the autism program working in our school. These are all examples where students need specific feedback. However, the teachers are at times unable to engage in the proper facilitation of education needed towards the students because they simply do not have the time. When it comes to the world, we believe that this helps decrease poverty because of the poverty trap by allowing new generations to actually access the education needed to escape that trap in the first place. We believe that this increases student education and motivation in general, while also decreasing the costs associated with education, especially in countries that cannot afford such a thing. And furthermore, we believe that students with special accommodations will receive the accommodation they need to a far better extent. What I ask for you guys is simple. I need both the funding and the professional personnel capable of coding and the integration between AI agents. The funding will be used to host servers with the storage necessary to fine-tune the models. What the coding professionals are needed and mandatory for this project to be done, as I alone do not have the time and the coding experience to be able to do such a task. Furthermore, later on, I would like to also let you guys help me set up connections with local governments and to release the project into the hands of students who actually need them. Thank you. And thank you very much. Here is how you can contact me. My name is Zhang. You can contact me through the email there.